Hey everyone, this is Taylor with Front Range Christian Church, and today we're going to be looking at the lead guitar parts for Always by Christian Stanfill. We're going to start with just going through every part individually, and at the end I'll go ahead and play just a track with vocals and acoustic and electric guitar so you can hear all of the parts in context and what they sound like in the course of the whole song. I'm going to be teaching it in B flat, which is what we usually play it in at Front Range, and so you might end up playing this song in A or in B. It just kind of depends on who's singing it. If you're playing it in A, take everything I show you here and move it down one fret, and if you're playing it in B, take everything I show you and move it up one fret. I have a delay on right now, and I have just a touch of reverb. You don't really need reverb if you don't have it on this song, so if you don't worry about it. The delay I have is an eighth note delay. Now, if your delay pedal doesn't do an eighth note delay, just like mine doesn't, what you might have to do is put it on a quarter note delay and then tap in eighth notes. And so the delay level I've got right now is this. And so your first repeat, you want it pretty loud, and then just let it fade out. I've got quite a few repeats on here. You might have to change that depending on how big the band is and how much space there is, because you don't want to pack on too much delay or reverb, because then it might be hard to cut through the mix. The general tone I have on my guitar is, it's pretty crunchy, honestly. This is without delay and reverb. If I play softly, I can make it clean. But if I really want to, I can dig into it and get quite a bit of gain. This isn't the exact tone I would use for this on Sunday, because I'm trying to be a good neighbor and I'm trying to keep the volume down. So I have an overdrive pedal. I'm getting gain from that. Usually I would just have a clean boost going into my amp, but one thing that is the same is I'm not hitting any pedals throughout this song. I've got one setting that I'm trying to just play dynamically in. I can play soft if I need to be clean, or I can play heavy if I need to be dirty. And so if that's not your style, if you want to be hitting on overdrives and boosts and whatnot, do your thing, feel free. I like to keep it simple and just play soft and loud, but yeah, you can do what you like. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the intro. At Front Range, we don't always play this intro. If it's a response song, oftentimes we will just skip it and go straight into the verse if we're coming out of another song. And so you'll kind of have to play this by ear. But in the event that you do play the intro, this is what it'll sound like. And you basically do that twice. And so the notes you're playing there, you're starting with a B flat, which is the second string on the 11th fret. Then you're going up to a C, which is the second string on the 13th fret. Then going up to a D, which is the 15th fret on the second string. And then you're doing a hammer on from an F to a G, which is the 10th to the 12th fret on the third string. And so again, it sounds like this. And the delay really fills that out. That's why it's important to have a pronounced delay on this song, because the delay really fills in that part a little bit. Without the delay, this is what it sounds like. So you really want that delay in there. And so out of that intro, we're going to go into verse 1. So we'll start by going into verse 1. And verse 1 basically revolves around two chord shapes for us as the lead guitarist. The first one is going to be this B flat power chord, essentially. And so it's a B flat, an F, and another B flat right here. And so that is the 8th fret of the 4th string, the 10th fret of the 3rd string, and the 11th fret of the 2nd string. And then the other chord shape we have to think about is this E flat over here, and that's going to be on the 8th fret of the same strings, the 4th, the 3rd, and the 2nd. And so we're going to be bouncing back between those. When in the verse there's a chord change to a G minor, and when it goes there, we're still going to use the B flat power chord shape for that chord. And so the pattern I'm picking here is going to be, I'm just kind of improvising a little bit with a little bit of a pattern. I'm using the 4th, 3rd, 4th, and then 2nd string. That's the pattern I'm going in, and it sounds like this. Chord change to that E flat, back to the B flat, flat, G minor, E flat. So that's the verse. And then after verse 1, we're going to go straight into the chorus. And on this chorus, it kind of depends on how we're doing it that weekend. You usually have some big hits on this chorus. Just know that you'll have to play this a little by ear depending on the week of how we're playing this, if we're going to try to do it just like the recording or if we're going to try to mix it up a little bit. But generally, the chorus will go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in chorus 1, we're going to start out with the B flat. It's the chord I've already shown you. It's on the 8th fret of the 4th string, the 10th fret of the 3rd string, and the 11th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to start on that and hold it for a little while, and then it's going to go to the F at the end of the first line, which is the 10th fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. If you notice, it's just our E flat chord that I've already shown you 2 frets up. After that, on will not fear, there's a change on each of those words. And so it goes from a G minor to an F to a B flat. And like I said earlier, we're going to use the same chord for a G minor as we use on a B flat on this one. So basically we're starting on that B flat power chord that I've already shown you. And we're going from there to the F, back to the B flat. And so that sounds like this. Then after that, you go to the E flat, which I've already shown you. 8th fret on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. Back to the B flat. E flat again. B flat. And then you end on the F. And then we go back into the intro. So after the chorus, you're going to go back into the intro. And the only difference between this time and the first time we played it is that the first time we played it really soft, like this. But this time, after the chorus, when we go into it, we're going to play it much heavier. We're just going to really dig into it and try to get some gain from our amplifier when we play it. And so this is how it's going to sound after the chorus. We're going to do that twice. The recording only does it once, but we tend to do it twice at front range before we go into the second verse. And then the second verse is the same as the first verse, just going to be picking a pattern through those chord shapes. The only difference will be that you probably want to pick up the dynamics a little bit and go a little bit bigger towards the end of the second verse as you go into the second chorus, so that you can build it a little bit. And then into the second chorus is the same chords as the first chorus. We're just driving the whole time. And so, I'm going to go ahead and just play that for you. The second chorus will be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into that turnaround again. And then after we play that turnaround, we're going to go into the bridge. Now the bridge of the song, we're going to do the bridge twice, and the first time we do it is pretty soft, and what we're going to use for this is a different B-flat shape, which is basically, I guess you would call it an F shape, but we're going to be using these 3 notes. And so that is a B-flat, and then a D, and an F. And so it's a B-flat major chord. That's going to be the 8th fret of the 4th string, 7th fret of the 3rd string, and the 6th fret of the 2nd string. And what we're going to do on this is we're going to pick that, and then we're going to go to the E flat that I've already shown you, the 8th fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. And so when he says, I lift my eyes up, my help comes from the Lord, we're just picking these parts right here. I'm going to turn the delay back on. So all I did on those is just picked those chords. And after that, there's a little lead line that sounds like this. Now in the recording, there's a little syncopation with that, or I don't know if that's exactly the right word for it, but his timing's a little bit different. I like to play it straight because when I don't, I just feel like something's off. It doesn't seem to translate well live for me. Maybe I'm just not very good. So I'm going to teach it to you straight, and we'll see what happens. If you want to go to the recording and listen to the timing he uses on there, that's fine. Do that. I like playing it this way. But the way the line goes is it starts on the 3rd string on the 8th fret, then it goes down to the 7th fret, then the 8th fret of the 4th string, and then the 8th fret of the 5th string. Then it starts the same way, 8th fret of the 3rd string, 7th fret, 8th fret of the 4th string, but then it goes up 2 frets to the 10th fret of the 4th string. And so, when you put it all together and turn the delay on, it sounds like this. That twice with the picking thing, and so I'll go ahead and play that whole thing twice. One bridge, and we're going to play the bridge twice. And so the second time we do it, the first half of it will be that exact same thing, but you're going to want to dig into it a little bit more, and so it'll sound more like this. Translated on YouTube, but I really dug into it a little bit more, tried to get a little bit more gain there. And then after that, we're going to do the same thing again, start picking a little bit more on these chords. This part's going to be the same. But then after that, instead of playing the same thing we've played with that little lead line, we're going to do the same thing but an octave up. And so we're going to start on the 11th fret of the 1st string, then down to the 10th fret of the 1st string, to the 11th fret of the 2nd string, to the 10th fret of the 3rd string. So that'll go like this. And then we're going to end it, starting the same way again, on the 11th fret of the 1st string, 10th fret of the 1st string, but then, instead of going down, we're going to go up to the 13th fret of the 1st string. And so the end will be like this. And so I'm going to go ahead and play the whole bridge both times through so you can see what it's going to sound like. So after that bridge, we're going to go back into the chorus, which is going to be a big chorus just like chorus 2. And so if you need to remember what that is, go back and look at chorus 2. But from that chorus, instead of going back into the intro of the song like we did before, we're going to go back into the bridge. And for the bridge, again, the chords are B flat to E flat. And so we're going to use the B flat power chord that we've already taught into the E flat chord that I've showed you. And after we do that change, we're going to do the lead line that's higher. And so it's going to start out the same. The only difference is there that on the second time there, I did the 11th fret of the first string, 10th fret of the first string, 11th fret of the second string, and then 13th fret of the second string. And so we're going to go through those changes twice and then end the song on a B flat. And so I'm going to go ahead and play the last 2 chords of the chorus into the last bridge that we kind of do as an outro so you get an idea of what it's going to sound like. Here it goes. End on that B flat. Sometimes that'll be different. We might change it and end a different way, but that's a safe bet for now to learn.
My foes are many, they rise against me. I will hold my ground. I will not fear war. I will not fear the storm. My help is on the way. My help is on the way. Oh my God, He will not delay. My refuge and strength always. I will not fear, His promise is true, and my God will come.